everyone. So today is the 28th of June, and again, not really any exercise today because I'm taking the week off. However, I did have a 12-hour shift at work today, of which a lot of the time had plenty of free time. So I had plenty of time to work on writing. I've said this a lot, but I'm getting very, very close to the end of the book. Honestly, hopefully it will be done within the next couple of weeks. No promises, of course, because I always have that weird tendency to keep going long after I've, long after I think. So, anyway, today's topic is a bit quicker, and this is kind of inspired by, it's not really a viewer question, I guess, but it was a question that someone asked me recently, and I thought I would elaborate on it because it's a pretty good topic. So the question was basically, what do I do if I'm sick? Do I keep working out? Do I, skip it entirely? Do I do something lighter? So the answer to that one is it depends. Because, if you're sick, you're not going to get, an ideal training session in. It's simply not going to be as good as if you, were, perfectly ready, perfectly prepared to, do the workout. So, that, raises the question of, do you think that it's worth do you think it's worth it? And the answer, it depends based, on who you are, based on kind of your training goals, your training level. I would say, for example, if I'm an athlete and I really have to hit a workout, even if it's not going to be as good, if you're trying to gain some kind of edge on some kind of competition, then, your training is usually more important than, the day-to-day, how you feel. Now, on the other hand, if it's someone who is just training to get healthier, who's just training to, put on a little bit of muscle, a little bit of stamina, a little bit of strength, do you need to? I would say no, honestly. Probably not. Simply because, again, it's when it comes to people who are training simply for health and wellness, it's a matter of efficiency, not just effectiveness. It's a matter of how much result can you get from how little work. And so when it comes to, that kind of population, it's a less effective and a less, efficient method of doing things. So, overall, I would say it's probably not ideal. Now, there's also a lot of other factors, to consider, of course. There's certain kinds of sickness that may be, more debilitating than others. And, if you feel like absolute garbage, if you feel like you've been put through the garbage disposal, that's probably, no matter who you are, even if you're an athlete, that's probably not a good idea to work out. On the other hand, if it's just a light cold, or maybe, you're stuffed up, you're congested, and, maybe you got a sore throat, that's probably not going to hold you back too much. And it's probably not going to be too bad to, it's not going to be too physically bad to actually do the workout. So, yeah, you could probably get away with that. Now, there's certain, again, there's certain stuff that's worse than others. Like, if I feel like I have a queasy stomach, if I feel like I'm going to throw up, I do not want to work out, because exertion is going to cause digestive issues. It's going to cause you, it's going to cause that queasy stomach to get worse, and you could potentially just end up vomiting. And, it's the same thing on the other end, too. Not that I want to, just talk about poop the whole time here, but, that can be an issue as well. So when it comes to digestive stuff, that's, maybe stay away from the workout a little bit more, because it's a little more risky. And yeah, when it comes to something like a headache or, something like that, well, yes and no, you could. It might suck, you might hate it, but, you could probably still do it. So it's very much a circumstantial thing. It's very much up to you to decide whether it's worth it or not. These are just sort of my, general observations, training for a while and, working with clients. I will say that one kind of cool thing is that ginger is pretty good at, calming down the stomach, usually. So if you are queasy, like some ginger cough drops or something like that might help. At the same time, again, it's still up to you, whatever you want to do. So hopefully that helps clear up the topic. Again, it's kind of murky. It's very subjective. It's not, there's not one right answer. So that is all for today. As always, like, comment, share. Tell me what you want to see in future videos, and I will see you guys later. Have a good night.